everyone. In this video, I'm gonna show you how to create a donut in Procreate. So first of all, we need an image and I'm gonna use this one. You can add it here by clicking insert a photo, and then I just choose the donut that I like and I'm gonna create that donut. So we're gonna go here, go to inking and choose Studio Pen. And I'm also gonna choose a dark color. So the donut I chose is actually this one. So let's do that. And then I just select the main color of the donut. So let's say it's this one. You don't want it to be too dark. You don't want it to be too light because these are your highlights and these are your shadows. You want something in the middle, and that's the one I chose. And then I need to make sure I have a new layer. I can also title this layer. So I click rename and then I write donut over here. Click enter. Make sure that when you click rename, you click it with your finger and not with your pencil. I clicked with my pencil and then I have to go through all of this, whatever. But if I click on it with my finger, a keyboard appears and I prefer that, it's easier. Okay, next up, what we're gonna do is we're gonna trace that shape. So I'm just gonna go ahead and not trying to be perfect. I'm gonna trace around it. And another thing I would like you to keep in mind that if you want your donut to be the best quality ever, make sure that it's big enough, that your page is big enough. If you create this little tiny donut, it's, you can't just then make it bigger and have great quality. No, you need to create it in the size that you're gonna use. In my case, I'm just using my iPad's size. That's enough. If you're creating a sticker, if you're creating something for printing, make sure that you make the donut this big. Now, I've created this circle. I'm gonna create another one that's in the middle. And what I'm gonna do next is I'm gonna hide this image. Now I see what I did. And now I can make sure that it doesn't have anything missing, that all the lines are connected. Once I know that all the lines are connected, I click on the color and just drag it here. Now I have my donut. Now we're gonna make it smoother and just add all the parts that we see that maybe could be a little bit more smooth. Doesn't have to be perfect. It's a donut, by the way. So obviously in real life, they don't come in a perfect circle shape. Okay, we have that done. What we do next? We click on it and we choose select. What that does is make sure that everything else, all the background, everything, I can only draw on my donut now, which is perfect. And we're gonna turn on the image, turn off this and add a new layer. And now I can see where my shadows are. I'm gonna click on my brush and choose Spectra from painting. And then I'm just gonna add the shadows. We are gonna choose a color again, and we're gonna choose kind of a mid-tone, so not the darkest one, but kind of dark still. And then we're just gonna add those shadows there where they would be if it was in real life. So make sure that you add it everywhere. And then once you're done with that, I would hide that and I would add another one. And now we're gonna add the darker one. So we're really going for the dark colors. Have a new layer. You can also retitle this so you can rename it and say dark shadows. And honestly, I was the person that never did that, and then it becomes very difficult later on. So we're gonna add dark shadows now. I make my brush a little smaller and then I just go in there. As you can see, I can't paint anywhere else. I just can paint on my thing. Now for the way you use the brush, make sure it's just like little strokes like that. So let's add some little strokes. Now you can do it with lines, you can do it however you want. Just decide which one you're gonna do and then keep going for it. Keep using the same one. So your stroke looks similar and looks the same. So I'm gonna use it here, a little bit over there. And we're not worried about getting too dark because we can always make it lighter. So that's not a problem for us. We can make it darker also. Now we're gonna turn it on so I see what's going on. And now I can decide if I like it or not. So I feel like it needs a little bit of kind of a layover, like it feels a little bit harsh. So I'm taking a lighter color and just going for it here. And again, as you can see, the stroke is everything. The way you use your brush, if your opacity is lower, you can definitely see how it looks like. So if you don't like a stroke like that, you can use lines or something else. I like it, so I'm gonna just keep going. And it's just easier for me. I like to make little circles with this, but I also like some lines as well. Like I like everything, so we have a little bit of that going on. And I usually try to go on the very edge also and create that. What we're missing is the highlights. So I could play with this all day long, but let's create our highlights. So I'm gonna, oh, I made a mistake. Nothing happened, okay. Rename highlights. So here we go. Auto-correct it. Okay, so we're gonna turn this off and then we're gonna color pick the color that's the lightest possible. And then we're gonna add it to our drawing. I'm gonna add it. I usually like to increase the opacity here because highlights are usually a very soft color. In this case, it's not that soft. And then when I want a little bit bigger brush, I'm gonna do that. Just gonna add it. And now I need to see what I'm doing. So I'm gonna do that. And now that I know where it is, so I know the direction where it's going, now I can really get into it. So if you are not a drawing master like me, I mean, like I'm not a drawing master, that's what I want to say. You want to know where the light goes, and images really help you find out where the light goes. So I usually try to, I make sure that, okay, I know that the light is here and the shadows are here. So, and then I just follow it when I'm, covering it up or drawing more. So I'm gonna make it a little bit lighter. I'm gonna decrease the size, decrease the opacity maybe, and I'm just gonna add a little bit, maybe bigger. So we kind of create a gradient. We want to go on top with the lightest color. So here it is. Here's my donut. If you feel like any of your lines are too harsh, you can always reduce the opacity, so it always saves you. And you can also add some blur with Gaussian blur. So I can add a little bit, maybe not that much, but just 2%. So here I have my first donut, and this donut has sprinkles, which is one of the harder things to do. It's just time consuming, but we're gonna do it anyways. So we're gonna click on the sprinkle and we're gonna choose a brush that's the same, the Spectra brush. Spectra, I say. It's not Spectra, it's Studio Pen. And then I make it small size, I make it so it's the same. And then I just follow all these little dots that are over here. So it doesn't have to be perfect by any means, but we do want to have quite a few of them. So I'm just gonna do one side. Now I don't even know. And then make sure that when you start on one side, you just move the other direction or something, because you're gonna forget where it was, like I did now. So I don't remember which ones I colored and which ones I haven't. But anyways, just keep going. and going. And after we're done with a couple of them, we're gonna see how they look like. So let's turn everything on, and this is how they look like. Now, to create a more realistic feel, we need to add shadows. So what we do, we select this layer of the little lines, turn everything off, select a color, and then just add some lines to it. Doesn't have to be perfect, just a little bit. So, just like that. And another thing we're gonna do, oh, I made a mistake, you guys. I added it to the same layer. Don't do that. What we need is a new layer. And then I add my little lines to it. So it doesn't have to be perfect, but you do want to add some lines. It does create a little bit of interest. It usually looks pretty good. So we add some lines to most of them. If you want, you can add to all of them. I also like to use my spectrum brush to create some texture. So I'm gonna reduce the opacity and increase the thing, and I'm just gonna go crazy, maybe a little bit here. I'm gonna go on this one. Okay, so now that I have it, I'm gonna duplicate this layer. I'm gonna choose the one behind it, and I'm gonna deselect this, and I'm gonna use Gaussian blur. And what we're gonna do next, we're gonna go to hue, saturation, brightness, make it darker, and also decrease the saturation. Okay, let me show you what's going on so you see. So what we're doing, let's create this again. Duplicate, Gaussian blur. We're adding a little bit of shadow underneath. And then we are reducing the brightness and decreasing the, I don't know if I need to decrease the saturation, I don't think so. Maybe I want a little bit more Gaussian blur, so it's all blurry behind it. Here we go. And if you want just a stronger effect, just duplicate it. I don't, so I won't. So here they are. And we need to add highlights as well, because if not, it doesn't look realistic. So we're selecting this layer again, creating a new layer. And then I'm gonna hide these so I can see what's going on. And I'm gonna choose the brightest color. Gonna choose my spectral brush this time, make it smaller. And then I'm just gonna add some highlights. Oh, this is very dark. Somehow color got selected. That's super dark. That's better. Okay, make sure that layer is above everything, and now you can start adding some light to them. The smaller your element is, the harder it is to, add lights and to do things. The bigger they are, the easier it is. So that, just add some light everywhere, some depth, and okay, let's see what's going on. So here everything is, and let's see, I don't like this. Okay, now it looks like it's injured, or it's like some kind of disease this donut has. So we're gonna remove some of the layers that we don't like. I feel like this one is a little too bright for me, too dark, I mean. No, it's actually fine. I don't know, I don't feel the Gaussian blur at all. It looks like a disease, I'm not into that. Maybe like this, and maybe let's decrease the opacity. So it's just a little bit there. Here we go. We have our little lines. And we're gonna add all these layers together, group them, name the group sprinkles, and then we're gonna duplicate it and we're gonna move it around. So we don't have to do this each time. Go. And we're gonna duplicate one more. I'm gonna move it around. Oh, and duplicate it. Duplicate. Oh, I have too many layers. Okay, never mind. So I'm gonna flatten these sprinkles. Flatten, and now I can duplicate it. Okay, now we can move it around and put them somewhere here. Where we go? Let's see. Yeah, maybe like this. Okay, so we have our sprinkles. Let's add some hearts to this. So we're gonna borrow these hearts over here. Or which heart? No, these ones look cool. Let's copy them. So I'm gonna do the same. I need a new layer, and then I'm gonna go to the heart, choose the main color, and choose the brush that's Studio Pen, and then I'm just gonna draw a little heart over here. Oh, I held it. Okay, and then I'm gonna add a color. Then I'm also gonna draw the thing behind it. So it doesn't let me. Okay, I'm gonna flatten this. And yeah. And now I can create a new layer. Move it over here to closer to my heart. And then I just draw over here the shadow. Can also use spectra for this. Maybe bigger, and so we have a little, because we have a little shadow there too. Now once I'm done that, I'm gonna create a new layer, and I'm gonna add some darker spots like these on the new layer with my spectral brush, just making sure it's small enough. So here we go. We add a little bit of darkness to it, and then we're also gonna add some highlight. So make sure I have a new layer so it doesn't get all messed up. And now I'm gonna turn on the background so I see what I'm actually doing, and this is how it looks like. This is how my heart looks like. Well, not my heart, you know what I mean, this heart. Here we go. Maybe I want it a little darker over here. So I can go to this layer and make it darker. So whatever I feel like right now, it's fine. And what I also like to add at the very end, I like to add a little line. So like that. This is on this side, on the dark side, and then on the light side. Over here, maybe lighter. Yeah, and also spectral brush again, because I like the texture of it. I'm gonna add a little more. Okay, I feel like this heart is my masterpiece. I hope so. Let's turn back the donut so I know. Oh, it's turned on. That's good. Okay, go back. And now I'm gonna select these hearts. I'm gonna grip them. And I also have more stuff. Oh, this is something wrong with it. Okay, so I have that grouped. I'm gonna rename it to heart. And now I'm gonna try to move it. Here we go. So I'm gonna just move it. Oh, maybe something like that. And now if I feel like it's a little too bright, I can go duplicate. I can't. Now I can. No. Okay, I really shouldn't have opened such a big file, but I did. So it is what it is. Okay, let's flatten this layer. No changes now. Okay, let's have that heart, and I can then duplicate it, and now I can flatten it, and now that I flattened it, I can change the darkness of it or the brightness. I don't know if I like that. Maybe if I just change the color of this, I would like it more. Let's try that. Yeah, I like that more. Looks more realistic to me. And I need a shadow behind it, like I really want one. And we're gonna go select the donut, a little bit of a darker color, and then we're gonna go behind the heart and just add a little bit of a shadow. Maybe a little bigger brush. Here we go, we have our little heart. Now that I have my first heart with the shadow, I'm gonna duplicate it and I'm gonna move it somewhere else. So I'm gonna move it here. And then I'm gonna create a new one. Oh, those layers. Okay, you're gonna see my mess now. Let me just flatten this up. Okay, I'm gonna flatten this heart. And I'm also gonna remove this, and okay, I don't wanna remove it completely. Let me put it in a different layer. Hey, move. Okay, we're here. And now I can flatten my heart. And now I can move them around more easily. So I'm just gonna duplicate, duplicate, duplicate. And then I'm just gonna move them around. So let's go heart. I don't know how people make it move, because sometimes it just doesn't, I can't touch it, like I can't grab it. It's just so annoying when I can't. It's like resizing it now. Why? And I never know why it does that. Like, somebody in the comments, please help me. If you know. Oh, okay. Okay. I got it. Here we go. So smart. You have to click here and then it's so easy to move it around. So if you're suffering, or if you were suffering like me, that's how you do it. So I'm gonna move this one as well. So that's why I was having trouble. Because I was always clicking on it. Here, another heart. And one more, right? Which one was it? Not this one. This one. Okay, let me move that one. I'm gonna turn it around. I also like to add them at like the very end of the donut. And I don't want them to be like super clean. I mean, clean. I don't want them to be super, yeah, I guess clean is a word. Like, I want them not look organized. That's what I meant. I want them to look a little bit disorganized. Maybe this one could go on this one. No, not like it. Here. Here it is. So here's my donut. Now I can remove the background from it, and the donut, and I can add a new background to it. Let me just turn off this huge layer that I've created before I made this video to create this video of the 6 donuts. And now that I have my background, this is how it looks like. And we can change this background. So I can make it pink, for example. And we can also add a little bit of a character to this. So we're gonna use the inking brush of a studio pen. Definitely need a new layer. And then I'm gonna add little ears over here, because I feel like they're so cute. Looks like a little pig. Go. And I also want to add little hands. Like a pig chicken. And let's add that. And I can also add some foot. feet. Wait. So it has its own little character. And I'm gonna just color this in. Gonna color the ear in, like that. Don't like the second one. And also, I think I'm gonna color this in. Here we go. So here we have our donut. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please let me know in the comments if you would like me to create a different image. And thank you so much for watching, and see you next time.